5 different areas: parenting, cognitive behavior therapy, financial literacy, employment readiness, and small business and entrepreneurship. The people that we got coming in, we have a professor from Marion Technical College coming in doing the small business and entrepreneurship for 12 weeks. We have a professor from Oakland College coming in and doing the employment readiness for 16 weeks. We have a professor from Columbus State Community College coming in doing the financial literacy for 8 weeks. And then we have a trained facilitator in the Thinking for a Change curriculum to come in and do that COG for 8 weeks. And then I do the parenting, partnering with Action for Children to be able to deliver the 8-week father factor curriculum. And by the way, we switch with our facilitators, but I'm there every week. That means for 52 weeks, I come in there once a week. That means we have class for an hour and a half for once a week. That means that I require these individuals to report to class on a Saturday if my financial facilitator can only come on a Saturday. That means that he's working throughout the 5 days of the week, and he's off on Saturday, and he can't come after 10 o'clock because he has to get his children to the football games at 10, so he has to come at 8 o'clock to be able to facilitate the class. That means that I need you guys to report downstairs in the classroom at 8 o'clock. Conditioning of the mind. That means that when you get home, you will show somebody that you will be able to report to anywhere on time. That means that if you don't report on time throughout this whole entire year, then that means that you got to do push-ups, 20 push-ups. I got them doing 20 push-ups.
Oh, I like that.
Absolutely. 20 push-ups. See, a lot of times we expect too less of that individual that's incarcerated, and therefore they live up to that expectation. You gotta expect more. So what I say is that, brother, I know that you're great. I know that you can do better than what you are doing. I know that if you apply yourself, success is yours. The world is yours. I know what's inside of you. I don't care about what you did. I care about what you're doing. That dictate where you're going. That's the only thing that I'm focused on. I don't care about your cases and all of that stuff. I don't care about your gang affiliation. I don't care about all of that stuff. I don't care about all of the terror that you've been causing throughout the institution up until this point. What I care about is where are you at right now? Are you at a place where you ain't playing no games? If you are playing games, if you still trying to shuckle and jive, then it's like, I'm gonna have to holler at you in a minute. Because I gotta work with people who are ready. So it's a right now check being done before you can even get into the Starts Within Organizations program. That means that you have to fill out two answers. How can the Starts Within organization benefit you? How can you benefit the Starts Within organization? There ain't no science to it behind it. I just want to see what type of effort that you're going to put in that question. If you just put one sentence in there and say, man, you know what, because I'm a good guy and I just want to do something. I got to work with somebody else, because you're not going to put in the effort and the work that needs to be put in to be able to complete 52 weeks of programming. And I understand that. We can't squander the resources, meaning that I get this done through community contributors. Community contributors give us the money to be able to get it done. I can't squander those resources, and I'm not going to squander the resources if you're not making an investment on yourself. Guess who's not going to make an investment on you? Carlos Christian. I know what these guys can become because I am them. Life is good. I hit the ground running. That means that I left out of Harbor Lights. I stacked up my money out of that minimum wage job, the $6.85 an hour job. I had $3,500 when I left out of the halfway house. I was able to go down to the Milton Manor right down the street and pay the $450 for the security deposit, $450 for the first month's rent. That was $900. I still had some money left. I had my license, and I was able to go get a car for $1,750 off of 65th and Clark out right there, and I got a 95 Buick Regal. So I had a car license and a job and an apartment. The apartment was furnished too. Now it came with the critters and stuff, but it was better than where I had left. when I was there. They didn't come out when the company came. So then it was like they just messed with me. So when I would tell people that, you know what, look, hey man, there's critters that's in the house. They said, Los, man, this is like a bachelor spot, man, you doing good. And it's like, you don't understand, man. Like, they come out and they come out heavy, you know, and they would just like bully me when I was in there by myself. But when I came in there, I appreciated it though, because of where I came from. You know, a lot of times the guys inside of prison, why they are not getting ready for the right now check, because they are looking at their situation. And they are letting their situation influence their thinking. Instead of saying, you know what, hey, I still got some time left. They are looking at the negative and they're not looking at the positive. If they look at the negative, then they will act negative. If they look at the positive, then they will be positive. What I learned to do is that with 10 years to do, I say, man, I got 10 years, I'm about to go ahead and get into business management. I got into Marion Technical College Business Management, graduated with a 3.83 GPA. That's in the middle of chaos. That means that people fighting and arguing over the football game, who's the best rapper, people smacking, fighting, and all of that stuff, and I'm right there in my bed area studying, learning business management, meaning that I'm taking everything that's of value out of the penitentiary and I'm going to add it to my jacket. I'm not going to let nothing slide. Administrative office technology, vocational training. I went from there to administrative office technology, vocational training, learn the computers, made sure that I could do Microsoft Excel, Word, PowerPoint, and Access. What did I do with my time? I said that I'm going to get everything of value that this institution has to offer. The institution, the agency in Ohio is different than any agencies in the other states. And I've been looking and I've been doing research. Like, there's a lot of programs, there's a lot of opportunity inside of the prison system, but the guys don't see them as opportunity. So then therefore it's not an opportunity for them. It's an opportunity for somebody like me. I got everything that I could get to be able to become the individual that I needed to be. And the individual that I needed to be is an individual that was going to raise my children, to make sure that they will not encounter the same things that I have encountered because I had a misinformation, because I was listening to these rappers talking about, man, go ahead and shoot up the block and you'll be okay, and you'll go ahead and sell all of the drugs in the world and you'll be okay. Misinformation. Or, matter of fact, go to the penitentiary and you'll be able to get celebrated when you come home, because I got celebrated. But along with me getting celebrated, I made sure that people knew that it was hell. And the reason why you know that I believe that it was hell, because I'm separating myself from individuals out here who still doing the same thing. That means that I can't be around you, because what you got coming to you, I don't want it. You are who you are around. So then that means that I gotta separate myself. And I was separating myself in prison from individuals, because the same thing goes on in prison as it does in the streets. And you gotta make that decision when you are in prison. This is the mentality that individuals have to take on. They think that it's just time to burn, but it is no time to ever burn. Time is a blessing. You've got to take advantage of the time. Develop yourself in a way to where you will look at your president and be like, I'm okay with that. I can say I'm okay with that. Sunday, Browns game against the Raiders, my 7-year-old. We are going there to the Browns game versus the Raiders, and we right there in the dog pound, right? I was looking at it on TV for so many years. I never went to the game in person. So now the first time that I'm gonna go to the game and the first time my son gonna go to the game is at the same time. Bahama cruises, Carnival cruises, been able to experience that over the years that I've been home. So this is what I'm showing the guys when I come in there. Because one thing that you got to understand is that you cannot be what you cannot see. That means that if I tell you to stop selling dope, and if I tell you to stop holding on to your guns, and if I tell you to stop acting gangster, what am I showing you on the other end of that? That's why I tell people a lot of times, I'm telling y'all, like people who got like employment here for the DRC, I am a problem to mass incarceration. I am a problem to mass incarceration, because guys will be able to see something different and they say that I can become that. I can become that. I can do better. But what do I need to do better? That means that I need to stop doing the stuff that I'm doing while I'm incarcerated. And I need to change up my behavior. Thinking controls behavior. Information influences thinking. That means that if I give these brothers the information and say, you know what, do you know how good it is for me to be able to kick it with my son? Do you know how nice it is to be able to see my son walk across the stage for graduation? That means that when everybody else is sitting down and they say, save your claps and applause until the end, I'm like, yeah, that's what we do. That's what we do. Yeah, yeah. And everybody looking at me like, what the heck? Like, you just don't know what I've been through. Like, he's an ace child. That means adverse childhood experience. That means that his father was in prison for 10 years. That means that I came home and his mother said, go ahead and get custody of him and raise our son to be a man, because I trust you with our son because of what you've been able to do. I trust you with the development of our son. I've had my son since I came home. He's not emulating who I was. He's emulating who I am today. That means that he's making decisions like I'm making them today, not like I made them in the past. That's the difference maker. That means that my son is not going to get incarcerated. That's how I'm a problem to mass incarceration, because my son is influenced in a way that he's going to emulate the lifestyle that I am living now, because I make it look so dang on good.